Hey, and welcome to the Dripping Stone Podcast, a podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle, welcome to part 2 of our episode with Hannah Whiskey Merchants.
The ever tantalizing sequel to previous events.
Correct.
Yeah, no, it's part 2. We're finishing up. There was so much goodness.
Yep.
Couldn't squeeze it all into one episode. We didn't want to do that to you. We wanted to be able to stretch it out, let you fully envelop yourself.
Literally editing that episode, about halfway through editing, I went, we need to release this as a two-parter because we were already at like an hour and 20 minutes with Gregor and Paul, and the conversation was just so good. I couldn't cut any of that.
Right.
And we wanted to do a tasting of their amazing whiskeys, and that would have made the episode easy in 2.5 hours. So...
And my jaw was still sore, and I needed to have time to do everything correctly also.
Correct. Speaking of that, man, that was such a cool conversation. I mean, you weren't a part of it, but you just listened to it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. Really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and
you gotta love an independent bottler.
You do. You do.
It's literally the best job in the world, I think.
Well, I think from this side of things, it definitely is. I'm sure.
Yeah, from our angle.
I was gonna say, based on the conversation, yes, it is a cool thing to do, but also I'm sure there's some stressful moments.
I'm sure there are absolutely stressful moments, but man, what an endeavor to be upon.
I mean, we had at the very beginning of the conversation, Gregor spoke about the transit sherry. I didn't know that was a thing, transit sherry. I'll explain it in just a second. But the transit sherry being all over the warehouse floor, and I can't imagine just sticking to the warehouse floor for the next week. That seems like a pain.
A sticky one.
Yeah, a sticky one.
Quite a sticky situation.
But how are you feeling?
Oh no, I'm much better now.
Good.
Well, recouped.
Yeah.
And
did you get them wasps?
Jaw back down to size.
Listen, I got to tell you, the picture was again chuckling,
looking like Buzz Lightyear out there.
Once I. It's funny.
That's
true. That's exactly what you look like. Once I
to infinity and beyond.
Once I knew that you were okay, and you sent me the picture, I went. I'm sorry.
Never really hurt that day. I mean, obviously, the act of getting stung.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Hurt like hell.
Yeah,
but once that was done and it was over with, there was really never any pain. But
there was some worry.
So did I tell you about it happened in high school? And was hospitalized for a few days over it one time, and so that was just what was running through my head of
sure.
Oh man, happen? I went through a year's worth of allergy shots and stuff like that, and it's is that all still in me, or is there a warranty
Come
on that?
Body, do your thing.
Yeah,
is there a warranty?
Remember how to do this. Come on now.
call somebody. Listen, are we still honoring this?
Yeah, come on, I'm still with it.
Yeah. So what you just chucked a bunch of Benadryl or
I did, yeah.
Okay.
We didn't really we had some,
but
I was there's no way this is any kind of fresh Benadryl. So I hopped in the shower. I had a cold compress on my chin because it was coming out, and asked my wife to go grab some fresh Benadryl, and she went and she found some Benadryl cream that we slathered on there and popped a couple of Benadryl pills, and
you went night night.
No, it didn't knock me out.
Oh, dude, that stuff just instant.
No, it didn't knock me out.
Yeah.
Sadly, I wouldn't have minded that. Within an hour, I could feel my lip specifically return to okay, it's coming down. By the end of the night, I could feel in this area it's starting to come down, and then it was still kind of puffy the next morning.
Yeah.
By the time I went to work, it was doable.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and I'm glad your face is back to normal.
Yeah, and I'm glad that I get to be here for the best part, which is sampling some of this delicious whiskey.
No, I'm gonna say the best part that you're gonna get to experience, because I love the conversation.
There you go. I hate that I missed it.
Yeah, and that's okay. Things happen, and
life happens.
Life happens, and Gregor and Paul were super gracious. They said a bunch of mean things in your direction.
No worries.
You've not heard them yet because editing and all that. But when you do hear them, I'm just kidding. They were really classy guys, and they were more concerned about you than I was, which says probably a lot about our friendship. All right, so through our friends at Sax Dynamics, they are the importer for Hannah Whiskey Merchants here in the U.S.
Okay.
So if you're getting a product from kind of what I understand of the importing side, which we'll talk to Howard at some point, that if you're getting something here in the U.S., it's through Saks Dynamics. So they're bringing. That's how we're getting the liquid from Scotland to here. So they're the importer.
To our area specifically.
Actually, I think it's even
like
larger. Yeah, I think it's even larger than that. I don't know exactly. He'd have to talk a little bit more about that. Right. I don't know exactly what area and how that all works. I'm super interested in it, but that's a lot of. Sounds like a lot of government red tape kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and so I'm interested, but I don't know.
Right.
So we'll have to ask him. But we did get some drams.
Cool.
And I feel like now that you're feeling better, it's a great time to try some of them.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had several drams that night.
On top of all the Benadryl. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't sleep for 3 days. Because I would have.
Yeah, cool, man. They got like little details on the bottle. Tell you what you got. Fantastic. Now, I mean, granted, you wouldn't, if you ordered from them, you wouldn't be getting this.
No.
You'd be getting full bottles.
You'd be getting full bottles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got little tasters here, but if you order, and you can order online, you can go to the Lady of the Glen, Hannah Whiskey Merchant's website to find out how you can get it closest to you, whether you're in the UK or here in the US. You'd be getting full bottles. They do have some sample packs too, something very similar to this, but you'd be getting full bottles unless you ordered, like I said, the sample packs.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so I feel like we'll get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay. So let's start with the Hannah Whiskey Merchants, their St. Bridget's Kirk line, okay? And that is their blended malt Scotch whiskey. This is batch number 2. And so in talking with Gregor and Paul, what they're doing is they've made that Solera system that they talked about, and they're kind of putting everything in, letting it all, mature and work its way through there. And then this is that bottling. So I don't know exactly what the blend is. I don't think we got into that in the episode, but here we are.
How old are they?
This one's a blend.
Like Solera aged is you've got a batch.
Yep.
You use some of that, but not all of it. And then you add that into the next batch, right?
It can be that, or like what they talked about is you're adding into different barrels, and you're letting everything kind of mature in there. Then you're moving into something else, and then letting it kind of commingle, and then moving into another barrel. So it can be a couple of different things.
Okay.
And from what I understand, and I hope I'm not mincing this a little bit, it is a blended malt. So they're taking different malts and they're putting it into these barrels, and then they're blending it together that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is their batch number 2. This was bottled on January 9th of 2024. So I'm pretty sure they're on to other batches at this point.
Gotcha.
So this is batch number 2. You ready?
Cool. Yeah.
Strength 48.4 ABV.
That's fun.
There we go. May I pour for you, sir?
I would be delighted. As they say in Scotland, muchas gracias.
In the glass, man. That's a nice color.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't think they're adding anything into it. I don't think there's any caramel color added. I could be wrong, but I don't think there is.
Well, you'd have to know what's all in their blend.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
There.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's lovely malty.
That is. It's so malt forward, but it's like malt forward and then caressed by this like jammy note.
Yeah, youthful banana.
It was maybe in college.
Pre-ripened banana.
Oh,
like a green banana.
Like right off the tree.
Yeah, like right off the tree, and like if you bite into it, it's
a little crunchy.
Really gonna taste like banana, but
it's just gonna taste like a
green banana.
Right. No, I know exactly what you mean. Fresh banana.
Yeah.
It almost reminds me of Bushmills. It almost reminds me of that.
Yeah.
But like very, very scotchy, if that makes any sense.
I mean, it does, because it's not a lot of shortbread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of that, just minus that shortbready kind of thing.
All right, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, I'm getting a lot of proof. It's only 48, but I feel like it's like prominent.
Yeah, it does tickle my nose.
Yeah. Maybe it's, I mean, I haven't had a pour in a couple days, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, samesies.
All right, going in.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong there.
All day.
Touch of peat?
I was just...
or is that just oak?
I don't
oaky
know.
Tannins?
I don't know. I'm going through it in my mind.
I feel like I get it on that after.
Yes.
That after breath.
Like a hint.
Just a touch.
I wouldn't say peated. Like, in so much as like, I don't think it's a peated whiskey. Like what we generally think of as like a peated whiskey. But peated, and like there might be some
peated whiskey
in this. Correct.
In the blend. Because
it presents different than charred oak. Yeah. And I do know that they are charring and retoasting the barrels.
Okay.
But Yeah, it's more than that.
Like, I mean, there's something there that's like a burnt element, and I don't think it's char.
Yeah.
I think it's more in that organic-y peat.
It reminds me of classic Lottie in that just that really lovely bright malty note.
Yep.
But then on the very back end, you get this like pepper.
Yep. To me, like classic Lottie has that like really bitter finish.
Yep.
This doesn't have that.
No.
This is a much softer, smoother, sweeter finish.
Yes, definitely. It's far more well-rounded. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Really good mouthfeel. Bit oily. Yeah, and that proof pops. 48.
It really does. Yeah, 48.
96. Yeah, I mean,
right?
That's grabbing hold of my tongue and squeezing it and saying, "Hi."
So again, like what they're doing here is they're taking a malt and they're taking a distillate, or they're taking something's already been aged.
Multiple distillates.
Correct. Once you take it out of their barrels, that aging process is stopped. They're putting into their Solera system, and Gregor talked about this. You've got 3 barrels. It's moving. The liquid's constantly moving through it.
Right.
Gets to the bottom of it eventually, and then that's where you get this. So it is a non-age statement whiskey.
Yeah, I don't think many blends. Rarely ever do they have an age statement on them.
Yeah.
Rarely
ever. And because. Well, it's just
technicalities.
I think so. It's the Scotch Whiskey Association. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Just moving through it. It's hard to. I don't know if it's hard, but I don't know if it's worth it, because then like you have to say the youngest whiskey in that, and it's possible that you use a 4-year whiskey, but now you got to put a 4-year label on it.
Yeah, which on a Scotch just isn't
right. Where like you could have a 30-year whatever in it, and you still have to call it 4 years. So like I don't think it actually benefits.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic.
Yeah. That Solera aging process is pretty unique. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and it allows Hannah whiskey merchants to make and fine tune how they'd like to do it.
Yeah, and like that's what I mean in terms of like how much fun would that be? Just to like keep trying that fill. At what point do you feel like you got the right impact from the barrel in there to do something either interesting or more satisfying through the whiskey, like, or you just get it like so much fun.
Here's what I like. Like, oh, that's fantastic. Let's bottle it. Like, I know that we talked about in the discussion. I think they mentioned 200 bottles or something like that. I don't know how large they're batching everything, but like, nope, this tastes great. Let's do it. And then eventually, you add 200 bottles or whatever it is more of whiskey, and now you just constantly are adding to it.
Right.
It's cool to me.
Agreed. And that's delightful.
It is fantastic stuff. Yeah. So that's the St. Bridget's Kirk.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can watch that video on YouTube.
You can. Yeah. There's a great video on YouTube. You just search Hannah Whiskey Merchant, St. Bridget's Kirk, and Solera, and you'll be able to find it.
You'll see the whole process.
All right. You want to try another one?
Yeah. Let's give it another shot.
So I'm going to let you decide based on a couple things. And by a couple things, I mean the cask type. That's all I'm going to give you.
Okay.
No, I'm going to give you cask type, and I'm going to give you age. Okay. You ready? This one is a refill. A refill?
Refill?
Yeah.
Damn.
This one's a refill barrel. This one is a refill wine barrique, and this one is a super and ruby port cask. So you got a refill barrel, which is probably bourbon, I'm assuming. Or maybe it's a refill Scotch barrel. I don't know that for sure. A refill wine barrique or super and ruby port. Oh, and you got 15 years and you got 2 10 years. Yep.
I'm really interested just in color-wise
sure.
at that super ruby port.
Super and ruby port. Okay.
Yep.
This is part of their Dalgety line. So Hannah Whiskey Merchants is very close to Dalgety Bay. Mm-hmm. Dalgety Bay is north of Edinburgh.
There you go. Gotcha.
Yep. And this is on
the northern side?
Yeah. Hannah Whiskey Merchants is north of Edinburgh. Like,
gotcha.
If you could, as the crow flies, basically right across the bay from Edinburgh.
Or like a sculled 9-iron from Nick's golf game.
That would be a hell of a 9-iron. I mean...
When you're 50 yards out.
and you just...
like, I'm just going to get us a nice, easy...
I'm putting this. Oh, sorry.
Laser beam.
And I hit every house on the way over there. Every boat in that harbor has now a good golf chunk out of it. All right, here we go.
Gracias.
De nada. Oh, yeah. This is definitely darker. It's a super and a ruby port, which are just types of port.
Yeah, it's just got that, like a rose-colored finish on it.
It does. Like, hold up to the light, and I recognize, like, our lights in the studio right now are a little warm. A little warm. That one's not warm though, I guess. Oh my gosh, on the nose, man. Holy crap. I didn't tell you. So this is distilled at the Glen Spey Distillery.
Okay.
It is 10 years old. It is cask number. This is what's so cool. It is cask number 802485 and cask number 802030.
Damn.
Yeah. And the strength of this one is 50.2% ABV.
Okay.
Yeah. Would you like to know something about the Glen Spey Distillery real quick?
Yeah.
So the Glen Spey Distillery is owned by our big friends, Diageo. Glen Spey is situated in the middle of the town of Rothes, at the foot of the hill where the ruins of Cathal Rothes is to be found. This was the home of the Leslie family, the Earl of Rothes, for 400 years until 1662.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
So there you go.
Owning a house for 400 years. Crazy.
Nope. I don't think this house is going to stand for 400 years.
We don't build stuff.
Not anymore. In 1878, James Stewart founds a distillery which becomes known by the name Mill of Rothes, and then ultimately that guy buys Macallan, and then a whole bunch of things shake down, and here we go.
Jimmy Stewart.
Not that Jimmy Stewart.
Oh,
I like Jimmy Stewart. Hopefully he's not problematic. I don't know if he is or not, but I do like him.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Stewart.
Not
the race car driver, the actor.
Jimmy Stewart. James Stewart.
You said Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah. Man, on the nose.
Wonderful Life.
It is just.
It's just jammy.
That's correct.
She got a lot of that jammy.
It's very jammy.
Yeah.
But it's also like super bright floral too. And I think that's the malt. I think
the malt's popping through.
It's very flowery to me.
Yeah, this nose is like a New York sour. Almost,
yeah. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, you're right.
It's got that whiskey with a wine floater on it.
Yep. This reminds me of that Paul Lanois Ardnamurchan that we have.
Oh yeah. It does. It's
just very
jammy nature.
Jammy, yeah. Do you get the uptick in proof? I mean, it's only a couple proof points higher.
Honestly, no.
I don't either.
I feel like this one could be sneaky.
I agree. All right, shall we?
Yeah.
This is so fun. Oh boy. That is a lot of port wine.
Yeah, I mean, but
wow.
I wouldn't say too much. I think it's like
no. I agree. It's not
amount.
Too much. It's the right amount.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like
it's clear.
Yeah. In relation to just a standard single malt, like it is very clear that this is sherried.
So this is Glen Spey.
Glen Spey, yep.
Put into these barrels.
Correct.
But we don't know a time frame. Just until it came through right.
Correct. Yeah, we don't know how long they left it in the super and ruby port. Correct.
I wonder if you would get that info on a full bottle.
You might. Yeah, I don't know.
Or if they had like a QR code kind of thing.
Yeah, I do know. Like when you go to their website and you look at those bottles are chock full of information. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure
you might could find that.
Yeah, or at the very least, I am willing to bet that you could email Gregor himself, and you can find his email address. It's on the website,
right?
Or one of their team, and you can say, hey, I want more information.
Out of curiosity.
Yeah, because they're transparent dudes.
Right.
Like here's the stuff. They're whiskey nerds. I mean, multiple times in the episode we referred to whiskey nerddom, and they are of the highest ilk of whiskey nerds. So they know that those of us that want that information, we'll
seek it out.
Yeah, correct. Man, this is fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's so different.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder. Off the top of my head, I don't think I've ever had Glen Spey on its own. I feel like I can almost sort these things out and taste it.
Sure.
In and of itself in this, alongside of that all of that is clearly the port. Push that aside.
Agreed.
And I think I can I'm just assuming that Glen Spey is going to be just a malt forward. Simple is not the right word of what I'm wanting to put forward, but just a nice, easy malt forward Scotch.
I got some tasting notes on the Glen Spey 12. Would you like to hear them?
Sure.
Well, this is clearly not the Glen Spey 12 because this is a 10-year Scotch, but
right.
Tropical fruits and malt on the comparatively delicate nose, medium-bodied with fresh fruits and vanilla toffee on the palate, becoming steadily nuttier and drier in a gently oak, mildly smoky finish. There you go. Unpeated, but it says slightly smoky. So
you tell me, like barrel char?
I think so.
I don't think I get even peatiness. Good stuff.
And to me, like, as we mentioned multiple times in the episode, like the fun part of the independent bottler is getting these casks and like, what about these makes them unique?
What about it?
Yeah.
I agree. And like, again, I can just imagine what it must be like to have that in the barrel, get to have you a dram every once in a while. See, is it there? Yeah. I say let's leave it in there a little bit longer. See what we can get out of it. And then you're like, oh shit, we put it in there too long. Get it out. Nah. Just coming in there day after day. Is that it?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's day after day. I think it's like, every every month or whatever. But we have the same conversation or a similar conversation with our old friend Dahi about like that's kind of the risk of like at what point does it become too much?
Yeah.
And like I guess that's when you're like, this is fantastic. Let's pull it now. Like, sure, if we were to leave it another 2 months, what would that do? Would it become even better? But I think more often than not, once you know that it's good, it's like, cool, let's pull it now.
Well, and, obviously with experience, you're going to know
that. And
we can maybe leave this in here 2 more months tops, or it's going to start to go the other way.
Well, and the other thing, too, is cash flow. I mean, let's be honest, like that drives, that drives a lot of these decisions in some ways as well. So, I'm sure it's one of those like, well, if we wait 2 months, but it's great now. Let's do it.
Yep. I say a good summertime drink too.
Oh, yeah.
Good summertime whiskey.
All right. You want to move on to our last one?
Yep. Let's do it.
I don't.
Oh.
And I don't because it's our last one.
I understand.
I mean, I do want to try it, but I don't want to have that experience be over with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You only get to do it one time.
It's a tough thing.
Yep.
And even more so because these are single bottlings.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I really want to try it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Did you like that open?
Yeah, man.
That's a good one. I'm getting better and better at this.
My spine is tingling. Whoa.
All right. This, Kyle, is the Lady of the Glen, distilled at the Kalila Distillery. That's an Isla distillery, for those of you who don't know.
Isla?
Yeah. This is a PX, so a Pedro Jimenez Sherry Octave finish. This is cask 303575-4.
Oh, I know that one.
Well, that's the one I put a sticker on.
Oh, right.
Yeah. This is aged at 9 years old, and it comes in at 55.5.
Nice.
ABV.
Little uptick. Man, I rarely ever do I say peanut on a scotch.
Yeah.
But this shit's got peanut
it's
on
smoky.
It.
It's smoky peanut.
Peaty peanut.
Peaty nut. Man, like that is such a problem. Like, okay, so Kolila to me, when you get Kolila, it becomes like backyard barbecue peat.
Yeah.
It is, Kolila peat is unlike the other peated malts.
She a different peat.
Backyard barbecue, campfire, charcoal.
Right.
And then that like lovely sherry note. Kind of giving it like a little pat on the butt.
Yeah.
Maybe a little boop boop. A little pinch.
Yeah.
Like going back to, how like most peat just dissipates pretty quickly.
Right.
This, it's there.
It's like, no, I got you. It's leaning medicinal too for me. A little like herbally medicinal.
Yep.
A little camphophenique.
Yeah.
Mercure chrome.
there it is. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Kyle, this is also owned by Diageo. I wonder if there's some connection there. Gregor talked, about different companies working with, and I'm assuming that they have some sort of, contract or some sort of thing worked out with Diageo.
Is the Kolila bottle Lagavulin?
Yeah.
Oh. There you
go. All those are the same basic bottle, just different color, like slightly different shades.
Right.
Yeah. You said medicinal, and one of the big notes on Kolila is always iodine.
There it is.
Yeah. Iodine, fresh fish, and smoked bacon.
Yeah. Interesting.
With sherry.
Yeah. With a little sherry on top.
Oh, you know what it is? It's a bacon sandwich with some raspberry jam on it. Yeah. All right. I'm going in. Oh, my gosh.
PD!
That satisfies every peat itch that I have.
Yeah. I mean, that granted, that might just be coming off of what we've had.
Sure.
Is a peat punch.
Yes.
Like that's up there with some of the peatiest things I've ever had in terms of just peat volume.
Yeah, and it's not dissipating at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, it's chewing on a cigar.
It truly is, yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic. And it's complemented by the rich, unctuous nature of the malt, which is then upheld by the jammy notes.
Yeah.
of the sherry, of the PX specifically sherry.
Yeah.
Man.
Wrapped in an ashtray. Delightful.
Reminds you of Granddad.
Oh my God, it is intense.
It's like still back on the
nose.
Yeah.
Woo.
And having sipped a couple drams there at the Coley Distillery myself, this would be fantastic on a like a dreary day.
Oh yeah.
Like just not like a hardcore rain, but just like a little bit of rain.
Yep.
A little cold, a little chilly.
One of those Ernest Hemingway sweaters.
Oh yeah, nautical. What are they called? Cable knit nautical.
There it is.
Yeah. Pipe in your mouth.
Yeah.
Well, because Yeah.
I still kind of contend that out of all of those special releases that we had that time, I think Coahuila was my favorite.
What special releases?
The ones that I bought.
Oh
that year.
yeah.
That one I went through it first
because I think it's more rugged.
But it really is.
Because like Lagavulin, it's got that. It's rich. It's very oily. It's very
and it's pretty
and it's comfortable.
And it's balanced.
But I think Coahuila is a little bit monstrous.
Yeah,
like it's got some bite.
Yeah, it's a little grungy.
Grungy. Yeah, it's like tarry. Claggy.
Yeah, claggy.
That is fantastic.
It's your grandpa's scotch.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That is amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's so good.
You know what? As we wrap all of this up, I just want to say thank you again to Gregor and Paul for, first of all, talking with us and chatting with us about what it means to be an independent bottler and talking about Hannah Whiskey Merchants as a whole, but also for allowing us to sample these amazing bottlings that they've done.
Yeah. Such good stuff. Again, so jealous of the fun you must have with that.
Yeah.
Can't imagine.
And Kyle, from all of the Drep and Stone listeners and myself, I'm glad you're back with us.
Oh yeah, me too. Like it was a rough. It was rough having to set you off on your own, giving that slap on the ass and say, "Go get him, Tiger."
Yeah.
I hated to do that to you.
Yeah,
but
and I hated it.
Just wouldn't have benefited anybody.
No.
For me to have participated in that. But hey, we got through it.
We did.
And you did great.
Thank you.
And they did great.
And then they did phenomenal.
Yeah. I was not worried at all. I knew you could handle it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. On that note.
You
got anything else?
No. I got just a spit left of this.
Well, I saved a little bit left of mine. I'm gonna go back through these.
I didn't.
It's okay. It's fine. Like you can be jealous. I'm gonna do it.
Thing.
Yeah. We'd love to know, what do you think about the Hannah Whiskey Merchants lineup? If you had it, whether you've had the St. Bridget's Kirk, the Dalgety, or the Lady of the Glen bottlings.
Yeah, let us know. And then if you haven't had those, which one are you most intrigued by? And going to go see if you can get a bottle of right now.
Yeah, go to their website, find a bottling that you like, and get it shipped right to you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a couple days because, shipping. But you're going to be like so anticipating that bottle. And when you get it...
And highly recommend all of them.
Absolutely.
These were all incredible.
Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone, DREP and Stone. Come find us, like a thing, share a thing, comment on a thing. And we'd really appreciate it if you did those things.
On that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Hey, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.